Good morning. Good morning. What's going on? Happy Sunday. Time to ride on. I've got text to speech on for regulars. So let's see how long this lasts before somebody says something really bad. Or if it just gets overloaded. I don't know. We'll test it out. Let's see what's going on. Bunch of snow fell in Michigan today. First, big snowfall. This is like an inch or two snow out there. Perfect day to have one of these. Again, no excuses. I don't have to go on a run or whatever. And slippery, cold. I also think I might have fixed the squeaking. I might be speaking too soon. But I just greased up a bunch of different parts. I couldn't pinpoint the squeak. So I just started spraying shit everywhere. But I wrote it for an hour yesterday after the stream. I didn't write on stream. But I was just trying to not have the squeak go on. And I might have done it. So conquer your problems. If something is annoying you in your life, you have the power to change. Now I just become a motivational speaker. Everything's about motivation. I'm too much of a cynical bastard, I feel like, to be a motivational speaker. My eyes are way too open. I feel like if you're a motivational speaker, your eyes have got to be way, way closed to where you're just I'm just going to pump myself up despite everything around me. And maybe that's healthier. But I feel like if you're I am the best and everything's all right, there's some balance. Going all one way or the other, I don't think it's too good for you. Because if you're a cynical bastard, then you don't really care because you feel like you don't have the power to change anything. And if you're a motivational bastard, where you think you're the best and most perfect snowflake, you don't want to change anything because you're happy. So the good spot is right down the middle. That's how I feel about a lot of stuff.
MR_Seeker said, how many miles did you do already?
I don't track miles. That would be a good thing to track, though. I do have this speedometer thing on here. But just starting out. Early in the stream, Mr. Seeker. Not too far. Was that text-to-speech way too fucking loud, too? I saw that, like, spiking the bar. Maybe I gotta turn that down, but...
It's loud.
TTS loud. Oh, yeah. Are you trying to make it louder? Or are you saying it's loud? Yeah, it's loud, yeah. All right, let's crank that shit down. Want to say something again?
Ape said, test.
Oh, it's still pretty loud, but crank it down like 20, 25. Anyway.
Boo.
It's at least better, eh? Boo. Boo. Boo.
MR_seeker said, it's better for me, but it sounded like you were talking. GRZZLYZ said, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. And if you highlight, it's the better voice. If you highlight in your message, it uses the that TikTok voice now that's everywhere. But it's actually 11 Labs, the like narrator voice. The don't mess with my gang, oopie goopy. That voice is the highlight voice. So if you highlight my message, anyway. Good morning, doing well. I think I need to have like a Bluetooth speaker because I can't hear it when it's like in my ear, but we'll see. Tweaking it. I like the idea of having it so I can like hear and it's more conversational. But I don't like the idea of having.
I went to see a movie, but it was actually a feature, a creature feature, featuring the creature.
Oh, thank
Mr.
you. Yeah.
_seeker said, Bluetooth speaker so you can use your hands instead of your legs.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I have all this shit like just floating in my house, but yeah, just experiment with different things and see what works. Because I don't want to get the feedback into the mic. Don't mess with my gang. Yeah. But I've had good sleep in. Most Saturdays I'm going to be sleeping in. It's just going to be a fact of life. And I was like, maybe I'll sleep in until 10. I feel like 10 is like really late. I slept in until like 10:30. You know, there's the point where like you get in a habit of waking up early. And you wake up early on the weekend. You're like, damn it. Damn. I want to sleep in right now. But I go back to bed and it like resets it. I feel like.
Trainers that use electric shocks. Slap one and let people pay in bids. Smiley face.
Oh, that'd be crazy. And I fly off the bike.
GRZZLYZ said, you're doing great though. Last year lost 100 pounds in a little less than 6 months. Now I'm working on gaining muscle.
Whoa, hell yeah, Grizz. That's amazing. Congratulations, yes. I don't know if my transformation will be as extreme.
Said, nah, just feel the pressure in your stomach.
Oh, I see. Like a little dog collar zapper. I thought you meant like electric brakes or something and freeze the bike or something. I don't know. That's also a possibility. But yeah, real world interactive things. I don't want to hurt myself. And with all my sweat, my whole body would be electrified. I'd be like super electrocuting myself. And I wouldn't have like a debouncer.
GRZZLYZ said, should get one of those things that
Oh,
simulate
that exists? What the hell?
loudly crying face.
How it feels to give birth? What the hell? I feel like I can read faster than TTS, maybe.
MR_seeker said, you have those zappers that contract muscles. They do no harm, but you feel muscles contracting.
Ah, interesting. What's that for, the bedroom? Weird S&M zap fetish. One thing I think is like realistically, like that would be a good thing is like heart rate. Yeah, I've seen speedrunners do that. Just have the heart rate like
sit down and
somewhere up on there.
Stomach muscles trained.
Huh, interesting.
Electronic six-pack trainer.
Oh, okay. We're like stacking shit up to be the ultimate workout machine. My arms are gonna be like, and my head's gonna be spinning around. Anyone who's new to the stream will be like, what the hell is going on? And then everyone will respond, the perfect workout! Like every part of my body's like just flinging. You know, to be Mr. Universe, you gotta take every edge you can get.
I tried it at 40%, and I felt like spams.
Yeah.
GRZZLYZ said, Dr. Seuss type workout machine.
Yeah. My like 7th grade science teacher, he had like a crank that would generate electricity. And like at the end of the year, he just electrocuted us all. And like he's like, okay, now everybody join hands, and like see how far it travels down. It's like,
Those
yeah, this is healthy.
things are also good for muscle pain and stuff.
Ah, interesting. You know, one thing I've been lucky with in life is I've never had like, I think I had back pain one time, and it was just from helping somebody move a really heavy thing, and I, you know, you always try to take a shortcut. But like in terms of doing that while working out or whatever, I've never had like back pain or really like intense. So I've been lucky in that regard. But I attribute that mostly to just not moving around a whole lot. But yeah, even during workout, I always had like a trainer, so I feel like that helped a lot to not hurt my, do it the wrong way. Ellen, on the other hand, always has back pains. I feel so bad, but I just can't really. I can sort of relate because, you know, it hurt to even lay down when I had my short stint of back pain. But, you know, you slap some icy hot on it, and then by the weekend it was gone. Haha. Yeah.
Can I show them my spine?
I never really had like muscle
Yeah.
Talking about back pain.
Yeah.
Usually the pain I get is like a shoot.
Yeah, we'll
Show
put,
them my spine. I'll be right there.
we'll take a
No
picture.
pain,
And,
that's what I get sometimes.
okay. Yeah, Ellen's got curved spine. So she's going to show you the picture of her
Everybody say spine.
spine. You're good, yeah. That's poor Ellen's
I
spine.
do love the sore feeling the day after a workout though. MR_seeker
Oh, wow,
said,
yeah.
"Och." GRZZLYZ said, oh wow.
And she has her aunt. I feel like is the only other person in her family that has like. But then I was talking to her brother, and her brother was like, "Oh yeah, I have spine pain all the time." I'm like, "Oh my god, everyone's got what's it called?
Scoliosis.
Scoliosis." Yeah,
Yeah, probably a lot of people.
yeah. Oh, thanks for your mirroring me. We'll get 2 bikes,
I'm supporting you.
and then we'll green screen the background. And I was like, we should just replace the background like we're going through the Alps. Yeah. Or like those old Conan sketches where they're just like running from stuff.
You can make that happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Do that. Put the green screen up here and have like
People could change the background or something.
Have the guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, oh, that would be funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
I don't know if they actually heard me or not.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I've been repeating everything you're saying. But. But even with that, it doesn't prevent them from doing stuff. She still gets out and is more active than I am.
Spine and everyone else's is messed up.
Yeah, maybe. That's like the next evolution of spine. Another problem is it's like curved forward and it's curved to the side. Like one half, the bottom half is like curved like a C, and the top half is like curved forward. So in 2 different dimensions, it's like curved. And you know what? She got it checked out by a doctor, and they're just like, personal training. I hate when you go to the doctor and they're like, I don't know, stay off of it. Do these exercises. If it's severe enough, we'll have to do surgery. It's like, there's no preventative thing. I guess a lot of PT to like deal with it, but it's like PT without an end date. Like just do these forever. And personal training is like just so repetitively boring, especially when you have an injury. It's like so incredibly monotonous. But, you put up with it because you're like, I see the end post, I'm starting to walk again. But like if you had to do it past that, possibly indefinitely. I guess I kind of had a curved spine. I kind of had like the computer hunch, and like I was always like leaning over at my computer and like staring at it.
Holy
So I had a
shit.
trainer point that out.
95 is awesome. They just dropped 100 bits.
Hey, thanks for the 100 bits, Mr. Kenji. Thank you so much. You keep it up too, man. I'm surprised no alerts went off. I've got all my overlays working. But thank you for the support. And yeah, just keep going. We'll get there.
Thank you for the follow, Ken95.
But yeah, I had the computer hunch, and I just like roll my shoulder blades, stand up straight. I'm always like hypersensitive about my posture. I think it's worked. Like, I sit flat in my car seat, and I like look as opposed to being hunched over. Same with at work, they have Herman Miller chairs, so I feel like I'm always sitting on Nice supportive chairs. Because that's another like almost like scam level market. Is just stuff that'll like fix your back pain. All these like chair accessories. And I wonder how effective anything actually is. It's like hard to tell because you don't instantly know. And then if you say something doesn't work, they're like, you're not using it right. It's like, okay. Blame me. I feel like I'm training too because it snowed here in Michigan, so I gotta go shovel the walk after this. And that was always something I would dread. I would be like, man, I don't want to be the fat guy that dies on his driveway from the first snowfall. But now I feel good. I feel like, after 8 days, my energy and stamina are already starting to go up.
It just snowed here, so I had to get the ice off my car.
Hey, that's exactly what I'm gonna have to do later, so I completely understand. Especially if you gotta go somewhere. The snow has stopped falling, but the snow is everywhere here too. I get it. Something I didn't have for the longest time here in Michigan, but I love now, and I don't.
My work is closed, so I get a chill day today.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Is a remote start. I love having a remote start and be able to start your car. Like, even though it's like, sometimes it'll like de-ice your windshield if it's like a very thin layer, but it's just nice to be warm, and it loosens up the ice, so it's easy to scrape off. Anything to kick off the day right.
MR_Seeker said, better than changing the light of the car.
Yeah. Yeah, changing the light is like a pain in the ass. Like changing your headlights. And sometimes they put the screws in such an inconvenient place. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. You can buy it. I think it's like $150 or whatever for like a remote start kit, and then just however much it is to install it. My cousins are more like handy car guys. And like when I was complaining, they're like, we can just, if you get a kit, we can install it. I was like, oh shit. Nice to have that. Someone who knows to let you know. I was like, I thought they had to like rip the whole engine out. But no, it's like a little thing that's got an antenna or something for. Yep. But it's got to be like a watertight container for your headlights too. So like everything has its purpose. But on my old Escape, when I had to last change my headlights, I had to change front and back in the same year, and only one on each side. Like the other ones were still going. I was like, "What is with the life of these bulbs?" But yes, changing the back was very easy. I like lifted behind something. The bolt was right there. That attached the light. Changing the front one, though, I thought was kind of a pain in the ass. Because it goes in a different way. And the front has, like, the two light thing, like the blinker light and the main light. And then you got to grease it up. And It's just annoying when you do something so infrequently that like, I know I'm going to do this bad. I only got to have to hopefully do this once. A handful of times in my life, maybe.
GRZZLYZ said, the other annoying thing that's like that is the cabin air filter.
Yes, that thing is under your glove box, and it's very tight in there. And my hands, I wouldn't say they're large. They're definitely above average sized hands, but to get that shit out, or your the thing that I forget what it's called, but it's like a little metal part that controls like the AC. That's also under there with the cabin air filter. But I feel like there needs to be like mechanical tiny hands.
It's reachable with a wrench.
It's reachable with a wrench. Oh yeah. But who has a wrench on them? You had to take out the entire middle dash? Oh my god, that's absurd. Who designs these things? Like, they clearly don't care about the consumer. They just want to jam as much shit in. Which is always why I'm like surprised that there are cars that are like well designed. It's like, this is a miracle. That this a designer, yeah.
Not an engineer.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you need to have a mix because the designer is thinking about like usability and looking nice, and then an engineer is all about utility. Like if an engineer designed a car, it would be like 80 switches and one dial. There'd be no wheel, or it would be very usable to that guy who knows how to the system.
My AC, I actually have to take the right wheel off. So smart.
Wow, that is, again, what do you drive? I drive a Bronco now. I've been a big fan of the Bronco. I had a lot of trouble. I had a 2012 Escape, and it was a lemon. I got screwed. I didn't plan super well, and I like needed a car after something happened, and I was like looking around, but you know, Escapes were getting bought up a lot, and so I was like getting desperate. And you never tell the car salesman, you're like, hey, I really need a car now. Because they'll sell you a car. They'll use every trick in the book. And I fell hook, line, and sinker. And like, I would bring my mom and sometimes like a cousin that knew stuff to like check it out. And the one time I didn't do that was the time I got burned really badly. Because that shit needed a new engine within 3 months. And like, I didn't know lemon law really here in Michigan. I don't know if other places have stuff like that. But lemon law requires that you take it back to the dealership that just screwed you over to like, you know, have any path for redemption and getting paid back. But that's such a screwed up system because I was like, I am not going back to you if my life depended on it.
Same base as the Ford Escape,
so I put way too much money in the car
nice.
and paid way too much for a new engine and stuff, and rode it for a couple more years until everything was just really starting to melt. I think it was like a water salvage car from Virginia. And like I saw the Carfax and I was like, oh, I saw a lot of stuff on there. I was like, well, at least they take it to the shop. And I didn't like put two and two together because it was like a single owner. Now I know. You know, you don't know Sometimes it takes fucking up. Oh, nice. Yeah. But after that car, I was like, I'm definitely getting a Toyota. Because Toyota, they reuse a shit ton of parts, even cross models. So it's very easy to get parts for Toyota. Very easy to fix, like notoriously repairable. And I wanted to support that. And I think they look kind of plain, but, you know, whatever. It's I
wish
treat a
there
car
were
as a
just
utility
corporate
vehicle.
dealerships
Like,
instead of only independent ones. Dealerships are so hit or miss.
yeah. You might get an honest guy, but you might get a team of sharks that tag team you too. So it's just like 8 evil guys that are lying and manipulating you until you buy a car. And every once in a while you get like an honest guy that just be like, yeah, sure. I'll take this off. I'll add this on. Here's the rates. I'll let you make your own decision. Too much incentive to not do that, though. It's so fucked. I can't wait to be done. I envision like a world where all cars are just like for lease, like everything's like public
See,
transit.
I couldn't be a salesperson because I'm too nice, loudly crying face.
Like you could own a car, but you could also just like some version of Uber or Lyft that will send an autonomous car to come pick you up, and it's much more acceptable and cheaper to do that. Whenever I visit my brother in Chicago or I go to New York, I'm in love with the public transit, even though it smells like shit and piss. And there's weirdos on the train. I just love being able to walk someplace.
When I went to New York, it was so nice just being able to take the subway everywhere. So much easier and cheaper.
Yeah, and I can be like, yes, I'll just go. I just have to like leave now. Like, whereas now, like, especially if it's like hanging out with friends where I know I'm going to be drinking, I'm like, no, I'm not driving an hour. But I would gladly sit on a train and like read a book or something or listen to music. And it feels different because it's like I don't feel like I'm doing something, so I'm not like exhausted or super anxious. And two, for like Japan.
Yeah, the subway stations are scary, low-key, loudly crying face, but
Yeah.
whatever, just
Oh, yeah.
mind your own business and you're fine.
For Japan, I've been twice, and like you could go out into like the countryside. Like, yeah, I just want to take a day trip. So I'll just, and there's stations everywhere. Like, yeah, I just want to go to Hokkaido and check it out and for a weekend and come back. You can. That's amazing. Yeah, let me go check out Kyoto. Come back. Don't have to think about it. Don't have to make a big to-do. Like with Amtrak, it's so fucking expensive. And, you know, everything's always booked to where you have to ride on a weird day. But yeah, with like Tokyo, like, you know, you could take the long distance, and those are kind of like booked. But like a lot of places you could just get to with like a regular train. I don't have to think about it. I could just boop. A couple bucks. Yep, I'll pay that.
I look at Amtrak for fun sometimes just to like see, and it's so expensive.
Yeah. So expensive, and it's late, and riding the trains, I think they just fixed them up, but for the longest time, it's just shitty. And like comparable to a bus, but a bus takes way longer. I wish like the government owned the rails. Like,
And all the fast train systems that are proposed here look so awesome, but I'm just like, well, that's never happening.
yeah, it's like I wish. Here in Michigan, there's been like trains talked about between Ann Arbor and Detroit for so long. It's never happened though. That one, I feel like it would be used so much, but you know. And we've had like referendums make it on the ballot. I think like I forget what the last big one was, but one county said no to it, and it was like Macomb County, which is like the east side, the rich lakefront people. And they were like, I'm not paying all this money so people can go to Tigers games. It's like,
which connected Charlotte
I mean, I know you don't go to
to
Detroit.
Atlanta, GA, and that's basically one big freeway I know.
Ah, interesting. I don't know if that helps either, because there's like one of these YouTubers that like explained that like, you know, increasing capacity isn't going to fix the traffic problem. Like, he's like, if I had 100 lanes on this freeway, there'd still be traffic because you have to get on and off. And like traffic is kind of, I think that's like CPG Gray or CGP Gray, whatever his name is. I always forget every time and have to roughly Google it. He's got a great video about it though, yeah. Oh, a train, I see. Nice. In Detroit, on I-94, there's a mile of autonomous only, and I think it's like in the center of the freeway. So they're doing like some testing. So that's exciting to see, but it might just be like, oh, this will never work. But I think everything's moving too far. There's like so much money being put into it and so much planning that I think it's going to happen in some way or another. But it's going to be like dedicated lanes for autonomous traffic. So there's like a mile, or maybe it's like 3 miles. It's not a whole lot, but it's like autonomous only lanes for like testing these cars that Ford and stuff are working on. Super exciting. I almost feel like it's got to be in like a tube or something too, because I imagine they're gonna have like a lot of things to make it like super safe, but they're gonna be on like based on these like
That would be awesome.
QR codes or something. And like if someone wanted to like cause a backup in an autonomous lane, they just throw a big bucket of mud on one of those codes that are in the autonomous only lanes. Because people are gonna do that. People are gonna hate it for no reason. Or like, you know, if you've ever seen like videos of autonomous cars or like those delivery robots, they like throw a wet towel over what they know is like the camera part that's like collecting all the data to like move and stuff, and the cars just freeze, and like the person in the car
I wonder if there would
has
be
to like
road
get
rage
out and
built
manually
into
take it off.
AI. That would be awesome.
I don't think a lot of people post long live journals or news articles about road rage. But yeah, the things that are missing from training models would be interesting to fill out and talk to an AI that's like full of like what we're actually thinking. Like you just like, I bet somebody's already doing this, is just getting big focus groups of people that are like selling their information to these AI models, and they're just talking about like everyday stuff that's not on, that they normally wouldn't post online, but are be trained for like these new models. Because yeah, think about just like daily conversational life. I'm not like writing that out in like a script or in a book or something. And yeah, in a book it's kind of skewed because it's like clearly to increase the tension for like a novel or something. But then we get like AI that's trained by like these Nielsen rating people, which is just kind of like a weird grab bag. Sometimes you might get an actual person, but then sometimes you just get the, oh, I want chicken nuggets every day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I want them delivered from the door to my mouth. And like, okay, great. Cut this one from the day, the training set. But yeah, I feel like that's one thing that's missing from AI models nowadays. That's kind of boring. One, they're censoring them, which is kind of like making it not as fun. The fun part was where you'd be like, oh, what the fuck? You'd just be like, oh my god, I can't believe it said that. Oh boy, yeah. You almost did it completely wrong. Thank you, ChatGPT. I wish I never would have asked you in the first place. All right, water break. Kettlebell swing. Woo! No squeaking. I must have sprayed lubricant on whatever the hell was squeaking, because I essentially just coated the shit and let it dry off for a day. But you know, good. I'm happy it worked, because if it didn't, I would be insane today. I'd be like,
And I love when ChatGPT is like, thanks for pointing that out. I'll fix that now and continue to do nothing different.
yeah. It's like, could you please retry and not do what you just did? And it's like, thanks. And it just redoes the exact same thing. No difference whatsoever. I'll acknowledge I did something wrong, but I don't know. I don't have the context. Which is infuriating. And like, you know, people say it's going to replace customer service. I don't think so. I think it'll, beyond like a first conversational thing, like trying to get some information while someone's busy, people would go fucking insane. I mean, we've already tried this, right? Automatic responses for things. People go insane. Like, think of how many times you answer the phone and they have to go through like that automated system, like for anything that requires like actual intervention, like a support line for like products and stuff. I don't think it's going to be replace that, because one, you don't want to game the system to figure out like how you can always get a free return on something. But I think it's definitely going to be integrated deeply into it. But in terms of like completely replacing all these customer service people, I don't know, maybe less, but I don't think it'll ever replace a human, because again, it's like bottom line too, you're affecting like your returns and stuff, and then just people's rage would fly off the fucking rails. Like, I feel like as soon as one company tries to implement that and fully replace their customer service department, people are gonna, you're gonna hear like these like recorded conversations of human being, I want to talk to a human being, which was, I think, already the case when people are talking to these automated systems, like just people yelling at the top of their lungs. Anyway.
What's funny is then they'll talk to the actual people like rat loudly crying face.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like customer service has got to be the worst job on the planet in terms of like trying to talk to someone with any shred of humanity. Rufus AI. I probably interacted with it. I had no idea. Oh, nice. I work for a SaaS, software as a system company, and like our product has like a pretty large customer service team, and like they're just on the other side of the wall from us. And man, I just don't know if I could deal. I feel so bad, especially when you like make a change that like they're like, everyone's asking a question about this, and you're like, oh fuck. I feel so bad because I just made their day way worse. because now they have to talk to all these customers and reassure them, and like sometimes they're screaming at them, and it just feels bad. But it's just like,
I'm always so nice to customer service and
Same.
line service workers. I don't know how people aren't.
Ellen used to work in retail. Like one of my best friends, Jason, he used to work in retail. And, you know, their worst days were just people that just gave them the hardest time. And so, you know, also too, like just the repetitiveness of it, I like to try to go out of my way. Ask them something they haven't heard before. Or yeah, just a common courtesy. Go, thank you so much. Have a good one. Because really, it's not them you're angry at. You're angry at the company. They're angry too. They're angry at they don't want to work there. But they need to, because we all need to. And they're like, I hate that the company has this shitty policy that I have to explain every time. And there's a script to go over. And they got managers like listening in. That's so incredibly... I feel like what other job has someone that can like just listen and go. So you got two people in your fucking ear. You got this customer who's like raging out. And then you got your manager go, don't give him a refund. Don't give him a refund. He said, this one, blah, blah, blah. So you got someone screaming at you in one ear. You got your manager telling you that the one thing that would calm this person you're not allowed to do. My mom and my aunts are like people that will always ask, just because you don't have it. In their mind, it's like, if I don't ask, I'm not going to get it. But if I ask, sometimes I might get it. Which that's just like, always irked me the wrong way. But yeah, it's just like, over COVID, over lockdown, Ellen worked at a grocery store. And she was like, sometimes they had to tag in for like COVID compliance. So you had to be the person that sat at the front of the line and goes, hey, you're not wearing your mask. You can't get in. And then the number of livid, it was always like old white women or blue collar guys like, oh, I can't breathe in those things.
No.
Oh, yeah?
I'm stopping this right
Oh, okay. Ellen is correcting me here.
It was everybody.
It was everybody. Okay.
Every demographic of person. There were good people. It's not that people are good or bad, but it was a stressful situation. No one had any answers, and I was the one they were face to face with. Our clientele did lean a little bit more affluent because it was kind of more in a gentrified area, but I would say we're not furthering the Karen myth. This is
Okay.
just-
See, that's my bad. I was
actually
speculating.
had a man do that thing where he was upset that he couldn't return bottles, which is something we do here in Michigan.
Old people are the worst to deal with. Even the nice
to
ones.
encourage recycling. You can return
Loudly
your
crying
cans of
face.
bottles for us like cents, and it kind of adds up. Some people do it. Some people think it's a waste of time. I return my cans, but I had a guy who we couldn't return cans because we just didn't understand the germs at the time. Like if people were drinking stuff and it was touching their lips, and then you have people taking those cans of bottles, and like how are the germs transferring? So in the state, it all stopped. So there was no more bottle returns. And a gentleman was mad about this, and he was like, well, I want to talk to your manager, and I'm going to stand right here. And he got nose to nose with me, and he wouldn't leave until he got the answer he was looking for, even though a manager was going to tell him the same damn thing. So
There you go.
I had more issues, I think, with people getting aggressive about... You know what the worst was? When people tried to be funny about masks. Like, I had 2 teenage boys try to come in with like they didn't have a face covering, but they had the
Like Halloween mask or...
like Mardi Gras masks, and they were like, "We're wearing masks. In theory, sure. I love a little jokey."
This is
vibe."
not a semantics issues, little boys.
It was
Sorry.
very annoying.
Yeah, very annoying.
I had an older gentleman show up with a CD attached to his face.
I don't get
So-
that one.
It just was stupid.
A CD of the movie Mask.
And he got like escorted out of the store, and he was going like this on the way out. In theory.
It's like, yeah, people thinking they're heroes when they're doing the stupidest thing imaginable. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing my.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry I was propagating a lie. A CD, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Don't get me wrong. There are still angry old white ladies out there, but I feel like the whole Karen thing has just turned into full circle misogyny, and I needed to clear up some misconceptions.
Thank you for doing that. Ellen, everybody.
I love you.
I love you. But yeah, I would have quit within an hour. I would have faced one of those people and go, I'm going home. Ellen didn't. Ellen stuck it out through the worst of it. Yeah. The managers are even more busy than I am. And you want me to go get the manager? It's going to be like maybe a half hour. If they're like really busy or not even in the store. Like if they're going to... do whatever they do. Or they're dealing with another person like you for a different person that required to ask for the manager. So yeah, in summary, be nicer to people that serve you. Or one thing I never understood is, yeah, like, I feel like Waiting is the best thing to watch. That movie about the restaurant with like Dane Cook and everything. Because it's like, yeah, hey, if you're a fucking asshole, this is what they are 100% doing, is they're fucking with your food. Like, why would you mess with something that's like literally serving you? Like, if you've ever screamed at a waitress, you've definitely ingested somebody else's loogies before. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? I'm gonna go into the kitchen, which you can't see, and I'm gonna come back with your food. That's all I'm saying. Can't really do that at like a computer or player place or like a Best Buy or something. Although I'm sure people have tried. People screaming about their laptops. I'm just gonna drag my nuts across your keyboard. That's just for me. That's how I get through the day. You forced me to do something like this. You've belittled me to such a degree where I feel like I have to do this to get through the day. And God bless the USA. Yeah, not saying they'd like install anything or whatever, but yeah.
But I would have been nice regardless. Loudly crying face.
I think with computer or player places, it's more like they're even more time constrained. So it's in terms of like priority. If you want to get your machine back in a timely order, you just gotta be nice. Like, if someone yells at me and I'm working at a computer or play place, I'm like, that's going to the bottom of the queue every day. Oh, sorry, we don't have the parts. I've been without my computer for a month. Don't have to, you want to take it somewhere else and restart this
My
process all
GPU
over
had
again?
exploded, so that was fun.
Ooh, scary. I've never had a computer catastrophically fail. I've had hard disk fail. I've had like a CPU water cooler fail. But like I knew what it was. The computer would like restart immediately. I go, boom. You know what's probably happening? My boot screen had like the temperature sensor on it. I go, yep, that's it. The reason it starts the first time and it doesn't start immediately after is because it's getting too hot. Bought a new cooler heatsink
I
thing,
had changed the motherboard,
and it started working
cooler,
again.
and case, and the GPU wasn't working, so I resetted it and it smoked and popped.
Ooh! Scary. Yeah, I've never, blown up anything. I always have the fear, though, that I'm going to do that. That's why I always decharge. I don't want to see... I would say,
I was
I'm a
able to
hobbyist
RM
repair.
it, but I ended up buying a new one anyway, so I'll probably sell the replacement.
Oh, nice. The thing you never want to see when you're, working on your own computer, though, is the white flash. Because that means you shorted something and then something exploded. And, at that point, you have to replace something expensive. And, if I was, really knowledgeable, I'd be able to, solder a new,
YUPP.
But most people don't want to even go through that process. I would say most computer repair places don't have, the top tier level support like that. That would just, solder a new transistor or something on. They'd be like, just get a new motherboard. I'm not capable of this repair. And not a whole lot of people are. And even though it's a dollar transistor, I have to track it down. I have to, make sure that that's the exact transistor.
I was happy that it did its job and shorted instead of catching on fire. Hype applause.
Yeah, thankfully they're kind of closed systems, so it's there might be a fire, but it's contained inside the box, and it'll never get that intense.
All the notes I got when
Most
I
of
got
the
the
time,
replacement GPU was that only the PCB was burned, but I really do wonder what happened.
Yeah, I wonder if it was just a shit part, or... Yeah, who knows? Seated wrong or something. Yeah, what caused this? Because now I'm anxious that it'll happen again if I get it replaced. But, oftentimes you never find out, and just replacing it fixes it. Maybe it was just a shitty GPU or something. The stinking one off the line. Last one off the line at the end of the day. And it just farted out a turd instead of a normal one. And then QA missed it. Yeah, where's that?
But I was pleasantly surprised that it was even still in warranty, since I've had it for a long time.
Yeah, that's crazy. But you know what? That seals in your mind, whatever company made that thing that gave you that warranty, I'm going to use them again. When I bought my house, there was wall side windows in one of the ones, and one of the windows broke, and I go, okay, I'll have to replace this. They recognized that window was still under warranty from the last owner and replaced it for completely free. They're like, yep, it's 35 years from the life of the window, and it's transferable to the next owner. I didn't even know that when buying my house. And I was like, thank God I called you guys. I just noticed that they were on the sticker and stuff, and gave them a call. I was like, that is good. Hassle-free. They have barcodes on all the windows, so it's that's the one in their database or whatever. And they could tell. I don't have to go through all this, back and forth, because they just fucking knew. Just keep track of it yourself for warranty information. Because I have to do all this paperwork at the start to get new windows anyway. So, ease of access, yeah. And then, yeah, for life, I'm going to be telling that story and telling people to get wall side. So it's just like a loyalty thing too. It's just like, yeah, if you need windows, they're amazing, and they don't give you a lot of shit, and they'll just come and replace it, very hassle free. It's something I never understood. Why, like, you pinch squeeze. It's like, because you're angering me. Like, unless you have a monopoly, I'm just gonna go somewhere else next time. It's like such short-term games. Like, if you just treat me nicely, I'll love it, and I will gladly give you free advertising. Like, because it would just made my life so much easier. I don't know, but some of these business people are so focused on the short-term gains. And like maybe they'll raise their profits for even their whole life, but then, you know, it builds up the rage. Well, thanks for riding with me, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the nice messages. Thanks for the guy who gave 100 bits. I'm going to try to figure out why my overlay didn't show anything. But adios. Have a good rest of your days, and see you tomorrow morning. Later, Grizz.